It's one of aviation's greatest mysteries. What happened to Malaysia Airlines flight MH370, which veered off course and vanished from radar during a routine flight from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing on the 8th of March 2014. Previous multinational investigations have failed to find the wreckage, but now an Anglo-American marine robotics company, Ocean Infinity, will resume the search for an initial period of 55 days. To discuss, we're joined now by Adam Hancock, a journalist based in Singapore who covers Southeast Asia and has covered the search of MH370 extensively. Adam, I know you're in Bali right now, but apparently you're working hard there. That sounds pretty lovely right now. This new search, what will it involve and how will it differ from previous efforts?
Yeah, well, it's kind of been called a new search, but it technically isn't really, because it's the same company that actually started a search last year, but it was called off after a short amount of time because of poor weather conditions. So they're kind of coming back to a search that they started last year. We don't know the exact area where this search will take place. We know it will be in the southern Indian Ocean, but exact details haven't been released. But there has been some media reporting, and there was back in March when Ocean Infinity resumed this search, that it was going to be in a roughly 15,000 square kilometre area of the southern Indian Ocean that is yet to be searched. In terms of what they can do differently, well, obviously technology is advancing all the time. So the ability to search large areas of water, particularly, areas of the ocean that are quite difficult to search because of the weather conditions, because of the currents, but also because of just how deep the water is. They have new equipment, obviously new technology, AI, etc., which they can use. Also, as well, there's new analysis which can be done on the data that already exists. So some of the debris that has been found from the plane, they can do something called drift modeling, which is where they look at the debris, they try and work out like how far it's drifted, where it's come from, the temperature of water that it's come from. And also they can reanalyze the satellite data, which they do have from when the plane disappeared. So I think they're going to be looking in a new area using new technology. And Ocean Infinity, the robotics company who are doing this search, obviously they're going to hope to find something.
In terms of theories of what happened to the aircraft, I mean, there have been over the years some outlandish claims, but is there now, with the distance of 11 years, a more settled hypothesis?
Yeah, I think the general consensus is that the plane diverted from its intended direction, and it sort of turned back on itself and it ended up somewhere in the southern Indian Ocean. That seems to be, from all the experts who've looked into this, that seems to be the kind of the working theory right now, is that it's landed somewhere in the Indian Ocean. Exactly why that happens, nobody knows. There was an investigation that was ran by the Malaysian government. They came to no conclusion or no official conclusion about what actually happened, but they did say that it's likely that the controls of the planes were deliberately manipulated to take it off course rather than any kind of external factors. But in terms of what actually happened, obviously there's wild speculation, many theories. Many people have pointed fingers at the pilot. Many people have discussed the fact that he had, flight simulator equipment at home and was practicing the route. But really, it's just lack of evidence which has opened the void. But yeah, I think that general consensus is that it is somewhere in the Indian Ocean, but it is very much like needle and haystack territory in terms of finding it.
Yeah, just a huge area to find. If they were able to locate the wreckage, though, on the seabed, and they found the flight recorder, after all those years underwater, would the data still be recoverable to sort of finally ascertain what happened?
I think that's a question as well. There's no clear evidence that it will be, intact, or they'll be able to actually draw any information from it because it will have been undersea for so long. I mean, obviously these black boxes are intended to survive all sorts of things, but even if they do find the wreckage, if it will actually answer any questions is hard to tell. I mean, obviously for the families, it will be a huge step. They just want some form of closure. They've been pushing for an investigation for so long. I was out in Kuala Lumpur last March on the 10-year anniversary of the plane going missing, and all the family members I spoke to, it was just the same message. They were just determined that they were going to get an answer. Obviously at this stage, all hope has been given up of finding anyone alive, but it's more just finding out what happened. And they also frame it of an angle of aviation safety going forward as well. I mean, at the end of the day, a plane's gone missing, and can't really have that.